Siracha, I would you, and Yaman, koto na waye sebi bi papa bi wasere chia aya udu anya me na waye aya koto na waye sebi bi papa bi wasere chia aya udu anya me na waye aya koto na waye sebi bi papa bi wasere chia aya udu Enyemyo Oh, that's right.
Hello, good evening and welcome to the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences. Can you kindly be on your feet as the speaker and the chair take their seats? Please be mindful to put your phones on silent. Thank you.
Please, you may take your seats. Thank you. Sorry, let's all rise. Thank you. Please sit.
Right. The President of the Academy, Madam President, past Presidents of the Academy, Vice Presidents of the Academy, Fellows, Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, students, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. So my name is Obinyeji, Professor Obinyeji, Honorary Secretary of the Academy, and I welcome you all on behalf of Fellows of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences. I welcome all of you to this evening's program, which is an inaugural lecture on the topic, Hidden Harvest, Reclaiming Africa's Plate. By way of background information, say that the Academy, since 1973, has required newly elected fellows to deliver an inaugural lecture as part of their responsibilities after induction. So if you look in the brochure, you find listed topics of some of the inaugural lectures that have been delivered since 1993. We are happy to mention that the program is being streamed live via Zoom, Facebook, and also on the Academy's YouTube page. And we take the opportunity to cordially welcome all those who have managed to join us virtually. Before the program proceeds, it is my honor and singular pleasure and duty indeed to introduce to us the chair for the program. I will present only a brief bio sketch for our chair, who is the president of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences. She is a distinguished scholar in immunology and parasitology, educated prestigious institutions, including Achimota School, and with degrees from University of Surrey, Brunel, and the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, as well as the University of London. She has dedicated 4 decades of her professional career to teaching and research at esteemed institutions worldwide. These include the National Institute of Health, Georgetown University in the US, Queensland University, and KYMR in Australia, as well as the Chiang Mai University in Thailand. She has been here at University of Ghana for a couple of decades. She's the first dean and the foundation dean of the School of Public Health. Her work, groundbreaking research on malaria immunity and vaccine development, has earned her international recognition, and she has been a key contributor to the development of the RTSS, the first malaria vaccine that we have presently been deployed. Also, she co-initiated and co-led the first NIH Center of Infectious Diseases Research at the University of Yaoundé in Cameroon. At the University of Ghana here, as mentioned, he has been the first dean of the School of Public Health, and she has also contributed to numerous institutions and obtained many awards and recognitions. A few only. She has been the UNESCO Chair for Women in Science in the West African region. She is a fellow of the African Academy of Sciences. She was the 2014 laureate of the African Union Kwame Nkrumah Award for Women in Science, the 2019 Clara Southmaid Ladlow Award of the American Society for Tropical Medicine and Hygiene. Women's World in 2021 recognized her as one of 7 women in science who have changed our world for the better. She hasn't stopped there. She continues to develop biomedical research capacity and building stronger networks and mentoring in public health. Ladies and gentlemen, with these few words, I would like us to invite our esteemed chair, Emerita Professor ISABELLA Kwakyi.
Thank you, Honorary Secretary, Professor George Obingeje, for the kind words. Past presidents of the Academy, vice presidents of the Academy, fellows of the Academy, Your Excellencies, distinguished ministers, distinguished invited guests, our students. We have 2 more coming. That's what delayed us a little. They've been caught up. 2 sets of schools are coming, but they'll be here soon. All fellows and invited guests online, media, ladies and gentlemen. And at this point, I'll say all protocols observed. Good evening. This evening, it is my singular pleasure to preside over the 4th inaugural lecture of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences. We have to reflect on one of the most pressing challenges of our time, food and nutrition security, and to explore the immense opportunities embedded within Africa's rich agricultural heritage. Emphasized in this year's inaugural lecture, our continent is endowed with a wealth of indigenous crops and traditional knowledge systems that have sustained communities for generations. Yet, many of these invaluable resources remain underutilized despite their potential to strengthen climate resilience, reduce malnutrition, minimize post-harvest losses, and drive economic development. Now, our distinguished speaker has devoted her academic and professional career to advancing an innovation in post-harvest technology and food systems transformation. Through her pioneering work, she has shown how science, technology, and entrepreneurship can unlock the hidden value of indigenous crops, create new opportunities for farmers and processors, and contribute to building a more sustainable and resilient future for Africa. It is therefore my singular pleasure to introduce our renowned scholar and researcher who will deliver the 2026 4th inaugural lecture on the theme, Hidden Harvest, Reclaiming Africa's Plate. And before I do that, let me give her profile to really show the stature of the speaker we have. Now, Professor IBOK E. Insa ODURO, FGA, is a distinguished food scientist, post-harvest technologist, educator, mentor, and transformational leader. Her career has been devoted to reclaiming Africa's indigenous food resources through science-driven research, innovation, entrepreneurship, mentorship, and leadership. She is Professor of Food Science and Post-Harvest Technology in the Department of Science and Technology at the KNUST, Kumasi. She earned her first degree BSc and MSc degrees in chemistry from the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, and completed her PhD in Postharvest technology at Silsoe College, Cranfield University in United Kingdom, under the prestigious British Chevening Scholarship. Her professional journey has included roles at the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, the Forestry Research Institute of Ghana, and KNUST, where she rose through the ranks to become professor and later the first woman provost of the College of Sciences. With over 3 decades of academic research and administrative experience, Professor ODURO has made significant contributions to post-harvest technology, food product development, food safety, nutrition-sensitive innovation, and sustainable use of indigenous African crops. Her research has focused on cassava, yam, sweet potato, cocoyam, breadfruit, moringa, plantain, legumes, cereals, and okra. She has pioneered innovations such as high-quality cassava flour for bakery products, yam storage and processing techniques, and orange flesh sweet potato products for improved nutrition. She has collaborated with national and international partners, including IITA, IFAD, McGill University, the International Potato Center, Harvest Plus, Danida, and others. Her scholarly record includes more than 240 publications, book chapters, and technical reports. Professor ODURO is also renowned for her dedication to teaching and mentorship, and we can see evidence of it here. Since joining KNUST in 1996, she has supervised over 210 undergraduate projects, more than 72 MSc MPhil theses, and co-supervised 20 PhD dissertations. And most of her PhD students who have since and are now lecturers are all here to really showcase her products. Her mentorship has shaped scientists, academics, innovators, and professionals across academia, industry, government, and development organizations. Now, her leadership at KNUST has been exemplary. She served as provost of the College of Science from 2016 to 2019, becoming, as I said earlier, the foremost female academic, one of the foremost leading academic leaders at the university's history, and to occupy that position. She was the Dean of the Faculty of Biosciences, head of the Department of Food Science and Technology, Vice Dean and chair of several strategic committees, and beyond the university, she has a life beyond the university, yes. She co-founded Women in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Ghana, WISTEC Ghana, and serves as the board chair and certified facilitator of the International Leadership Foundation Ghana, advancing STEM mentorship, ethical leadership, and youth empowerment. Her contributions have earned her numerous honors, including the Outstanding Individual in Academics and Research Award, the Women in Chemical Science Excellence Award, Africa Role Model in Leadership Excellence and Youth Mentoring Award, SME Researchers Award, and the Excellence and Innovation in Sweet Potato Award. How many more awards can one achieve in a lifetime? Professor ODURO's career reflects a lifelong commitment to using science for societal transformation. And her inaugural lecture, Hidden Harvest, Reclaiming Africa's Plate, captures the essence of her mission to reveal the value of Africa's neglected food resources and place science as at the service of nutrition, livelihoods, enterprise, and sustainable development. She was elected and inducted as Fellow of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences in 2024. So, audience, this is the remarkable accomplishment of your speaker, and speaker, your audience. Thank you.
is my life, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground, firm through the fiercest drought and storm. What heights of love, what depths of peace, when fears are still, when striving cease, my comforter, my all in all. Here in the love of Christ I stand. Christ alone, who took on flesh, fullness of God in helpless babe, this gift of love and righteousness, scorned by the ones he came to save. Till on that cross, as Jesus died, the wrath of God was satisfied, for every sin on him was laid. Here in the death of Christ I live.
Bursting forth in glorious day, up from the grave he rose again, and as he stands in victory, since Christ has lost his grip on me, for I am his and he is mine, bought with the precious blood of Christ.
No guilt in life, no fear in death. This is the power of Christ in me. From life's first cry to final breath, Jesus commands my destiny. No power of hell, no scheme of man can ever pluck me from his hand till he returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I stand. Oh, no scheme of man can never pluck me from his hand till he returns or calls me home. Here in the power of Christ I stand. Thank you, Madam President, for your kind introduction. Madam Chair and President of Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, vice presidents of the Academy, past presidents and vice presidents, distinguished fellows of the Ghana Academy of Arts and Sciences, honorable members of Parliament and ministers of state, members of the diplomatic corps, chief executives, vice chancellors, invited guests, ex-team colleagues, and members of the media. My dear students, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, joining us both in person and online, good evening. It is both a privilege and a profound honor to stand before you today to deliver this inaugural lecture. The theme I present this evening, Hidden Harvest, Reclaiming Africa's Plate, is not simple the title of a lecture. It is a reflection of a journey shaped by research, by teaching, working alongside farmers, engaging with industries, and perhaps most importantly, learning continuously from our own food system. At the heart of this journey lies a question, one that has stayed with me for many years. How does a continent so rich in agricultural resources still struggle with food and nutrition security? This question is not merely academic. It's a question about systems, a question about choices, and ultimately a question about value, what we value and what we overlook. Because across the continent, we are not lacking food resources. What we are often lacking is recognition, investment, and confidence in what we already have. Madam Chair, I would like to begin with a parable from the Bible found in Matthew chapter 25, verse 14 to 30, where Jesus shares a simple yet profoundly instructive story. The story begins with a master preparing to embark on a journey. He entrusted his servant with resources, referred to in some version as talent, each according to their abilities. Two of the servants invested what they had received and successfully multiplied it. Upon the master's return, he was very pleased with their effort and rewarded them greatly. However, the third servant, out of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, chose to bury his talent in the ground. He preserved it, but did not use it or invest it. When the master returned, he was disappointed in the lack of initiative and the failure to act. The third servant squandered his opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to suggest that Africa finds itself in a similar position. We have been entrusted with a vast diversity of indigenous crops. Many of these are nutrient-rich, climate resilient, and deeply embedded in our cultures. And yet, many of these resources remain hidden. This is our hidden harvest. And tonight, I want to call on all of us to reclaim Africa's plate. Take a look at the picture. You know, as a professor, I can't have a presentation without a quiz. Here are some indigenous African crops. Can you identify at least 5 of them? I'm watching. 5. Can you identify 5 of them? Is there anybody who can identify 5? Well, show Show by hand if you can identify 5. What about 4? Is there anybody here? 4. I have seen a hand. That's very good. And 3. Is there 3? 3? Be looking. Oh, I can see Prof. Wellington has identified 3. Can we clap for him, please? 2, 1. 1. I can see some people with 1. Well done, everyone. Don't worry if you didn't get any. We will have another quiz before the end of the presentation. $97 billion. This is how much Africa spent on imported foods between 2021 and 2023. This has increased by 19% from the previous period between 2012 and 2014. This expenditure represents a massive outflow of foreign exchange reserves that could have been invested in domestic infrastructure and health care. Madam Chair, we are a continent rich in biodiversity, knowledge, and agricultural heritage, yet we are becoming increasingly dependent on imported foods. This is shifting Africa's plate from nutrient-dense, climate-resilient, and culturally meaningful food to more refined carbohydrates, sugars, and fat. And this has led to some dietary-related health issues that was not very common before. This shift is not only changing what we eat, it's changing who we are. Obesity is no longer a condition confined to the high-income nation. This table is a summary from WHO African region report showing that adult obesity prevalence rose by more than 40% from 2010 to 2022. The consequences of obesity is worse with increasing age in adults and is strongly linked with our choices of food. Even more concerning is the trend among children. The prevalence of child obesity in the region almost doubled in just 12 years. We have also seen within that period an increase in diabetes and diet-related mortality. By 2022, an estimated 54 million adults in the region were living with diabetes, with more than half remaining undiagnosed and untreated. We can only imagine what the prevalence will be in 2026. A lot of indigenous foods that we have neglected are now being marketed globally as superfoods. These neglected foods hold the answers to some of our most pressing food security and nutrition challenges. The decline of traditional food and indigenous food did not happen overnight. It was the result of decades of undervaluing what is ours. Just this morning, I opened my online and I saw an article, CSIR lists Afasie, Benkeni, Kaupi, other indigenous groups disappearing from Ghanaian farm, but attracting high demand on foreign market. I asked myself, what? This article is published on Graphic Online, following a Joy FM interview of the CSIR director in charge of Plant Genetic Resources Research Institute at Bonso, asserting that many indigenous food crops are disappearing. The irony, however, is that this crop are attracting higher demand in foreign market. When we keep patronizing imported crops, our farmers lose confidence in growing more indigenous crops. After African independence did not arise by accident. Over time, we have prioritized export-oriented cash crop while neglecting our indigenous foods, crops. Crops that could not be exported and sold in foreign markets were labeled as subsistence and was given less attention in terms of research and investment. After independence, these policies unintentionally continued, favoring imported staples over traditional crops. Uganda started to grow coffee beans over local crops. Nigeria, palm oil and rubber. Here in Ghana, it was more land to grow cocoa. We lost confidence in our own food system. Madam Chair, neglecting our indigenous crop has also made post-harvest losses a major issue. For 100% of food produced in sub-Saharan Africa, about 30 to 50% are lost before it reaches the consumer. They are lost during harvest, storage, transport, leading to up to $4 billion in losses. Our lack of confidence in our own food is costing us up to $4 billion annually in sub-Saharan Africa. Sweet potato gari, a hidden treasure. Let me share a personal story about how innovation sometimes begins with an idea that nobody believes in. Many of us here know that gari is a faithful companion, especially for students. I am sure most of you have enjoyed a bowl of gari soakings at some time in our lives. Several years ago, my colleague and I were interested in finding ways to add value to underutilized crops. As part of that effort, we screened 18 varieties of sweet potato and began asking a simple but unusual question. Could sweet potato be used to make gari? At the time, the idea sounded almost ridiculous. We took sweet potatoes supplied by the Crop Research Institute and traveled to Aunaga, where experienced women, gari processors, have been producing gari for generations. When we explained what we wanted to do, they laughed. Some openly questioned whether these two professors are normal. They asked whether sweet potato could ever be turned into gari. But we were determined. So we left the sweet potato with them and asked them to give it a try. A few days later, madam, we returned to collect the product. To our surprise, it looked promising. The sweet potato gari was slightly darker in color, sweeter in taste, and crisper in texture than conventional gari. Yet, despite our excitement, I was not entirely convinced. In fact, after bringing the product back to the laboratory, I locked it away in a cupboard and almost forgot about it. Then an opportunity arrived. There was a call for an abstract for the International Society of Tropical Root Crop Symposium in Japan. Around that same time, a colleague from the Crop Research Institute visited and asked whether we had any research we could submit. Suddenly, I remember the forgotten sweet potato gari sitting in my cupboard. The challenge was that we had no data. His response was simple: then let's generate the data. We quickly conducted the necessary physiochemical and sensory evaluation. The results were encouraging. Important quality attributes such as swelling capacity. Why you like garis when you soak it is swelled 3 times the volume. So some of us will leave it in the bowl and go and come back. pH were within acceptable ranges. Even more exciting was when the response from consumers, students who tasted it, liked it very much. Some even said it tasted like ordinary Gary mixed with Milo because of its slightly darker color. So those who didn't have Milo can easily have it as a replacement for that. We submitted the abstract. A few months later, I found myself in Japan presenting research on a product that had almost remained forgotten in a cupboard. To my amazement, the work received the Best Paper Award. That was not the end of the journey. We then faced another challenge. What should we call this product? Was it Gary or something different? While we were debating branding and classification, the idea began attracting attention elsewhere. Before long, another country had adopted the concept and branded a similar product as Sparee. Today, the idea of producing Gary from sweet potato is gaining increasing acceptance. What began as an experiment that was met with skepticism, laughter, and even self-doubt has become an internationally recognized innovation. Some of our greatest opportunity may be hiding in our laboratories, in our farms, and sometimes, quite literally, in our cupboards. Why indigenous food matters? Why? Several reasons. One is that they are nutritious and offer essential vitamins, antioxidants, and dietary fiber. They are also resilient. This crop evolved alongside our environment and are naturally drought resilient and required fewer input. Again, indigenous crops hold our identity. They are embedded with stories, culture, and our history. Take a look at this. Imagine in kindergarten when we were learning the alphabet, instead of saying A for apple, we could say A for Alefu instead. I'm sure some of the younger ones don't know Alefu. Alefu is what is also known as the African spinach or amaranth. It is nutritious and can be used to make stews and other local delicacies. Having discussed the importance of indigenous crops, the next question becomes, how do we move from potential to impact? We have studied several indigenous crops and traditional African foods, some which I will share with you. Our approach has been deliberate and systematic. We first engaged the local communities to understand the cultural significance of the food. Next, we identify underutilized crops with potential and characterize them both physical and chemically. Many of these products, next is product development, where we improve existing food products and develop novel food products from indigenous crops. Many of these product concepts have been scaled up and commercialized. Because research in isolation does not change life. It is only when research moves beyond the laboratory into markets, into homes, into industry, that it becomes truly meaningful. Madam Chair, across much of Africa, our daily diets are built around a relatively small number of staple food, as shown on the slide. Wheat, much of which is imported, has become the foundation of many of our breads, snacks we consume. Cassava and maize dominate many traditional meals. In some regions, sorghum and millet remain important staples. These foods have sustained generations and continue to play a vital role in food. However, while they provide much needed energy, they often fall short in supplying adequate protein, essential micronutrients, and the dietary diversity needed for optimal health and nutrition. There are many cultivars of yam throughout the humid tropics. White Guinea yam, Dioscora rotundata, the most important species, especially in the dominant yam production zone in West and Central Africa. It is indigenous to West Africa, same as the yellow Guinea yam, the Dioscora cayensis. Water yam is another species, Dioscora alata. To be frank, the other day when I was sharing, somebody said when they were eating afasie in the house, they thought poverty has visited them. Because they didn't understand why Mama should prepare afasie for them. Together, there are over 200 cultivated varieties of white and yellow yam. I would recommend that you check out this book online on yams, authored by Professor Anthony K. Thompson and myself. In this book, we explore hundreds of yam species across the regions, looking at their morphology, chemistry, and potential uses. We did not focus only on the commonly consumed varieties. We deliberately examine underutilized species, those that are often ignored, yet hold significant potential for future food system. Because sometimes the next breakthrough is not in what is popular, but in what has been overlooked. One of such overlooked crop is the yam bean. It is an indigenous, drought-tolerant legume root crop found in Central and West Africa, yet it remains largely underutilized. Here is a picture of my research team, and we are harvesting the yam bean. We analyze the flour from yam bean as an alternative to reduce dependency on imported wheat flour. The flour has about 85.85% available carbohydrate, appreciable protein content, and very low fat. In addition to this, it demonstrated significant antioxidant activity. It naturally contains sugar that can reduce the needed sugar sweeteners, particularly in products like infant foods. So here we have a crop that is locally available, climate resilient, functional, suitable, yet underutilized, simply due to lack of awareness and processing infrastructure. Another underutilized staple is water yam, Dioscora alata, grown extensively within West African, that is the yam belt. The countries include Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, Togo, Cameroon. Traditionally, this crop has often been viewed as a secondary option, sometimes consumed only during period of scarcity. Our finding tells a very different story. We investigated 20 varieties of water yam and found total dietary fiber content of the varieties were higher than that reported for brown rice, while 2 varieties had comparable values to whole wheat flour. These levels suggest that water yam could support digestive health and supplement the fiber and minerals needed of consumers. The product on the right, take a look at it, is made from water yam. With the right attention, through simple scientific technology, water yam can become a valuable commodity, and that is yam couscous, reconstituted yam couscous. which sometimes we neglect. Dioscora bufera is another very interesting crop. This is not moving. It's also known as aerial yam or air potato because it grows above ground like a vine. This yam species is often considered an invasive species because of how fast it grows and is often discarded like a weed. Our group characterized this crop and found edible variety with enhanced functional properties like water binding capacity and swelling power, which makes them suitable for many product development applications. Here you can see oto and potompoto made from aerial yam. Here we have another interesting crop called frafra potato. This is very small indigenous tuber that looks like mini potato. In the picture you can see how small it is. Cultivated mainly in the northern region of Ghana. At present, the frafra potato is produced mainly at subsistence level. There are limited improved varieties, minimal market infrastructure, and significant post-harvest losses due to spoilage and pest. And yet, its potential is remarkably. In the table, you can see that it has similar levels of carbohydrate to the Irish potato and sweet potato. The quality of starch from this small tuber shows excellent water binding capacity, making it an excellent thickener for food processing application. So here again, we see the pattern that with the right attention, improved varieties, better storage, stronger market system, this crop could transition from neglect to value, contributing to both food security and livelihood. Many indigenous crops possess hidden potential that can be realized through simple processing, fortification, and value addition. One of such is fermentation. When we talk about food processing technology, we often imagine sophisticated equipment, automated production lines, and modern factories. However, many of those technologies we celebrate today have their roots in indigenous knowledge systems that have been practiced for centuries. Long before microbiologists understood the role of microorganisms, our communities were producing foods such as kenke, banku, pito, ogi, and nunu. Today is the same biological principles used in the production of yogurt, probiotics beverages, sourdough dough bread, and a wide range of fermented foods found in supermarkets around the world. Consider malting and germination. Indigenous community malted millet and sorghum to prepare beverages such as pito and to improve the nutritional quality of foods. Modern brewing industry, infant food manufacturers, and producers of functional foods continue to rely on exactly the same process. Natural coagulant is another example. Traditional products such as wagashi and various fermented legume products demonstrate an understanding of protein transformation long before food chemistry became a discipline. Today, these principles are used in the production of cheese, tofu, protein concentrate, and alternative protein ingredients. Leaf wrapping is something we are now all talking about. Why should we use plastics? Even leaf wrapping and natural packaging reveal remarkable ingenuity. Foods such as kenke, dokunu, moi moi have been packaged in natural materials for generations. As the world searches for sustainable alternatives to plastic, we are rediscovering the value of biodegradable packaging system that our ancestors used all along. Similarly, traditional drying, smoking, roasting, pounding, milling techniques were developed to preserve food, improve flavor, enhance safety, and increase shelf life. Modern dehydration systems, smoking chambers, extrusion technology, and milling operations are all, in many respects, refined and scaling up of this same indigenous innovation. We have taken a number of these indigenous knowledge and applied them to modern science. Take senescence plantain, for example. This refers to overripe plantain. Although they look spoiled, they are highly nutritious, rich in vitamin C, carotenoids, and minerals, and are frequently processed into traditional snacks like kaklo, tatale, and ofam. So from waste to wealth, senescence plantain. You will have a taste of it. The president was so excited when he saw the product outside. Please make sure you don't miss it. We also had one, we worked with puree, senescence puree, and incorporated into bread and pastry product. This allows for partial substitution of wheat, eliminating sugar from this product. We went a step further using traditional processing techniques to produce foam mat powder from senescence plantain and turning it into an instant powder mix for making ofam, and you also enjoy it. Madam Chair, beyond producing delicious product, traditional processing can also enhance nutrition. Some of you might recognize this fruit. Who can recognize this fruit? This is breadfruit. This is what? Breadfruit. You're likely to see them being sold in Volta and Oti regions, as well as the eastern and western regions. We develop instant food from breadfruit, maize, and groundnut using the process of malting. We were able to improve the overall quality profile of the infant food. Malting reduced the thickness or bulk of the baby food. In practical terms, this meant that infants could consume more nutrients in similar portion. This is critical because young children cannot eat large volumes of food. We don't need to keep depending on imported baby formulas when our indigenous crops can give us the same nutrition. We must balance our consumption of staples with fruits. Here are some more underutilized fruits that we have explored in various studies. The sour sap, the sweet sap, the African mango. Really, the African mango is where we have the ogbono seeds, which is used for ogbono soup. That is where the seed comes from. They are rich in vitamin C, supporting immunity and enhancing iron absorption. They contain high levels of dietary fiber, enough in some cases to meet daily requirement in a single serving. And yet, despite this, they are often under-consumed and underutilized. Again, the pattern is clear. Nutritional solutions are already present within our food system, but they are not fully recognized, integrated, and promoted. The high-quality cassava flour in bread. The significance of adding value to our indigenous crop cannot be overstated. Here we incorporated high-quality cassava flour in the common tea and sugar bread that we consume every day, and the results were significant. After an in vivo study, we found replacing just 10 to 20% of wheat flour with high-quality cassava decreased glycemic index from 70 to 37.21. This is huge for people managing pre-diabetics who can consume this product with slower, more controlled release of sugar into the bloodstream. In fact, the taste and texture of the bread did not change with substitution. We do not always need to introduce new foods to improve nutrition. Sometimes we can improve what people already eat by using what we already grow. This approach is practical, affordable, and scalable. While we are talking about health, let me introduce you to Moringa oleifera and sweet potato leaves. This is a bowl of sweet potato leaf in groundnut soup made in my kitchen. You can enjoy this with kokonte or rice balls. It can also be used in a egusi stew, enjoyed with ampesi or rice. These two leafy green are very nutritious and celebrated globally as superfoods. Our research provides clear scientific evidence of its nutritional strength. We incorporated both moringa and sweet potato leaves into crackers that you see here in the picture. The moringa and sweet potato leaf provided the fortification layer, while cassava and sweet potato flour constituted the structural base. This is gluten-free product, rich in beta-carotene, supporting vitamin A intake. Sensory evaluations show that they were acceptable to consumer, even more so than some wheat-based alternative. Madam Chair, the International Potato Center and the Crop Research Institute undertook a campaign a few years ago to breed and promote the utilization of orange sweet potato. We partner with SIP, MOFA, and CRI to develop a wide variety of food products from OFSP that people were familiar with, and this was important in promoting its adoption and utilization. Here are some products that we developed. You can see sweet potato salad, sweet potato drink, sweet potato leaf palava sauce, sweet potato leaf tea. Sometimes I see people bring tea into my office to sell, and I ask them, what are you doing with our own materials? In fact, together with my former student, Dr. Ekwe, we developed a sweet potato yogurt to help curb vitamin A deficiency. This earns us the Excellent and Innovation in Sweet Potato Award Communication for Change by the International Sweet Potato Center. Madam Chairperson, it is fun to develop new products and reimagine new ones. However, it is also important to ensure that this innovation do not remain within laboratories. To effectively translate research into livelihood, into businesses and real-world impact, we partner with SIP, MOFA, CSIR to use a training of trainers model to promote sweet potato utilization, and we call it Everything You Need to Know About Sweet Potato. We train approximately 79 experts across 3 continents, creating a multiplier effect as they subsequently educated farmers, processors, entrepreneurs, and community. The project developed policy briefs and technical resources for stakeholders. This effort contributed to the establishment of Sweet Potato Entrepreneurial Hub at KNUST, based on the belief that indigenous crops can serve as a platform for innovation, entrepreneurship, and opportunity for young people. One lesson has become clear through all the work that we have done on promoting indigenous crops. Developing products alone cannot transform our food system unless we change the entire ecosystem. So lasting change requires strong connection between research, industry, farmers, market, policies, and practice. I teach traditional foods and nutrition to my colleagues at KNUST for the last 15 years. And I've seen when we started, they could recognize a lot of the traditional food. But as we moved on, some of them are disappearing. So in this class, our students learn about different traditional foods from all over Africa. They investigate the history, the culture, and stories from indigenous people who enjoy this food. Then they recreate them and showcase these traditional foods to the entire university community. Here is an article showing some pictures from the last showcase. Every year, people are surprised by the variety of local dishes they have never heard of, and they get to taste the same food their ancestors enjoyed. Madam Chair, allow me to introduce one of my students who has a message for us. Here is Elsie Esel with Hidden Treasure of Africa's Plates.
Thank you so much, Mommy. Now listen. Africa has a lot of treasures. The treasure has been hiding in our pots for the whole time. Because tell me why a child would reject ampesi and abom at home, but order for organic boiled yam and green sauce at the restaurant. What is the difference? Do you remember the water we used to put in our bowls for schools? That is the same water people are photographing for Instagram today. Is there any difference? Do you know Prekese? That boy would enter the soup before you even smell the soup. Dawa dawa. That man do not knock before entering your nose. Just a spoon of shito can even resurrect a dead rat from yesterday's bowl. So, what are we doing now? Fufu. That food is just a legendary food. 2 people pounding. 1 person shouting, tenam, tenam. Just for you to swallow in just 2 minutes. What a legendary behavior. So now tell me, where else will you see a group of people eating, sweating, coughing, and still saying, the pepper sweet, well. Look at Kenke. That food looks so innocent until pepper arrives. Then all of a sudden, your eyes are watering. Your nose are just tearing up. But you still say, 1 more fish. There is treasure on the Africa plate. There is treasure in the millet. We regret the millet. We reject the millet. Reject the sorghum. Reject the bambara beans. And reject the fonio. And go for imported cereals that cannot satisfy us till 10 a.m. Meanwhile, a bowl of Hausa cocoa can fight hunger till evening. There is treasure in the sobolo. There is treasure in the kontomire. There is treasure in the jollof. That starts international battle. Ghana or Nigerian jollof? Mention the best jollof and all of a sudden, the whole continent is at war. Because honestly, how can you tell me banku and okra stew, fighting with my hands like a wrestling battle, is a local food? Such a disrespect. Respect the treasures of Africa. Well, maybe reclaiming the African plate is just a mere thing. But then, let me tell you, reclaiming the African plate is realizing that our grandmothers were nutritionists before Google existed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Elsie. Indeed, there is hidden treasure in African plate. As I promised, this is our second quiz. Can you identify at least 5 of these delicious traditional dishes? Please, can you identify? How many got 5? How many people got 5? More than 5. Oh, then it means you are getting closer. 4. Who can identify Ethiopian meal in that slide? Something that looks like Ethiopian. Injera, have you seen it? And there is matoke. Have you noticed matoke in the plate? Have you seen matoke? Look at it very well. There are some snacks there. There's one from, can you see any? Sometimes they look similar across Africa. There are some there from Sudan. Can you recognize them? Well done. Can we clap for ourselves? You have done very well. I wish we could enjoy traditional African food daily. I visited former Zimbabwean minister, I'm sure she's online, Dr. Olivia Muchena, who grows everything that she eats. In this picture, we were enjoying pleasant lunch at our estate, where everything we ate was indigenous and grown on the same land. That is where we should be moving towards. So the model of the traditional food class has now been expanded into the KNUST Food Festival. This is an annual event where we invite stakeholders from all fields to Kumasi to rediscover and promote traditional African foods as viable solution for the future rather than relics of the past. What began as a simple exhibition has now evolved into an innovation platform, linking research, industry, and entrepreneurship. Here you can see me and my Vice Chancellor, Professor Rita Dixon, sampling some of the exhibition. You are all invited to the next one next year. Please prepare and come. Here are still some more photos from the food festival, showing traditional food prepared by students and small local businesses as well. In fact, entrepreneurship is a big part of our work, and we have seen many innovation product concept and idea bloom into successful startup businesses. Here are just a few of our students. To be frank, most of them have been exporting their product. There's a pull up there. You know the miracle berry, where sometimes when you take it, it sweetens down. The young man is here. He has that product and export to US. We have the sweet polar. There's another lady producing it with standard, because sometimes we are afraid of the standard quality. She does it. That is Dr. Mavis Owusu, I think Owusu Owereku. These are all our students. Some of them are here today. So feel free to check them out and see how indigenous African crops can inspire a new generation. Here is another innovative product line from a former student, Dr. Annie Hati Nutrition Africa, using traditional crops like millet, dates, and other local vegetables to develop nutritious yet affordable food for our more vulnerable populations. Madam Chairperson, An inaugural lecture is not just a personal milestone. It's a moment of reflection. A moment to look back, to examine the present, and to imagine the future. We have the crops, we have the knowledge, we have the people. What remains is the will to recognize, to invest, and to act. Here is what I need you to remember as you leave this room. That African hidden harvest lies in its indigenous food. That these crops are nutritious, climate resilient, and economically viable. That science and innovation can transform overlooked crops into impactful products. Therefore, reclaiming African plates begins with valuing what we already have. If we are to reclaim African plates, we must, one, invest in indigenous food research and value addition, strengthen policy support and reduce post-harvest losses, promote local food consumption through education and awareness. The good news is the school feeding program is an in-route, it's a door, it's a platform. Empower youth entrepreneurs and industry to innovate with indigenous crops. Build partnership across academia, industry, government, and community. Madam Chairperson, African food future will not be imported. It will not be imported. It must be cultivated, innovated, and sustained from within. Our harvest is not absent. It is simply hidden. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is time to bring that harvest into the light. It is time to reclaim Africa's plates. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, as I bring this lecture to a close, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to many individuals and institutions whose support and encouragement and collaboration have shaped this journey. I appreciate my daddy, Almighty Father, for his grace and wisdom. I'm grateful to the leadership of Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, College of Science, Department of Food Science and Technology, who made an enable environment for me to strive, and that enriched my professional journey. To my students, past and present, you have made this journey exciting. One of my greatest sources of inspiration is you. Many of the ideas and innovations shared today were made possible through collective effort. Special thanks to Wisdom for continuing to champion female excellence in science. I'm deeply indebted to all these people. Nkabom, research collaborators both within and across the world. Privileged to work with outstanding colleagues from academia, industry, government agency, development organization who have contributed to this journey. I would like to acknowledge Nutrition and Sustainable Agri-Food Collaborative Nkabom at KNUST. To my family and friends, thank you for your unwavering love, patience, sacrifices, and encouragement. Your support has sustained me through every challenge and celebrated every milestone. Finally, I thank all of you who have taken the time to be here today. Your presence is deeply appreciated and serves as a reminder that no journey of achievement is ever undertaken alone. I remain hopeful that the ideas shared this evening will encourage you to reclaim your plate. Can we say it together? I reclaim my plate. I reclaim my Africa's plate. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you. Yes, okay.
What can I say? This has been one of the most innovative, fabulous. It's made me quite hungry to go out there and try all these never-known African hidden, foods. Please, let's give her another round of applause. Our speaker, and just a few tidbits, because she said everything. And I wouldn't deny you of all the goodies outside there. So she said, how does a continent so rich in agricultural resources still struggle with food and nutritional security? It really doesn't add up, but this is where we are. And she said, Africa's plate, hidden harvests, and reclaim. And she's addressed every aspect of what she said she was going to talk about. $97 billion in imported foods. Can you believe that? I mean, that can build schools, hospitals. I mean, just a sheer loss. It's unforgivable, actually, and must immediately stop. And this, we've all changed to fast foods. And what do we have? Obesity, diabetes, and And for me, the exciting thing is that identifying those foods around us, which we know we haven't even realized that we have. The potential for developing indigenous fruits. The best one for me is sweet potato gari. And with that, I wouldn't, hide from, because often you're drinking gari and you want to hide it because it seems that that's your last penny. But with sweet potato gari, I open up and invite everyone to it. And yam beans, things that I really haven't even thought and heard about. And it's all here. So in reflections, she's really, Africa's hidden harvest lies in, our indigenous foods. And we've got to learn to find out what they are. They're nutritious, so we're missing out. She goes on and advises how we can promote consumption. She's done a lot of work convincing all of us that we are not eating well. We need to eat better. We need to empower our youth because those are our future. So if we encourage them to go back to our hidden treasures, this is where the future lies. We will build healthier youth. So let them enjoy the indigenous fruits for what they are. They're even tastier if you teach them how to make them. And empower the youth. And she's saying, ultimately, African food factors will not be imported. We must cultivate, innovate, and sustain. And this is Africa, our future. Learn to eat what we can grow in our indigenous fruits. Thank you very much. So we're all available to test all the goodies outside. Thank you, thank you, thank you again, Prof. IBOK, for a wonderful, wonderful lecture. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, INAUGURAL. Yeah. So all too soon, we're almost at the end of this wonderful inaugural lecture by Professor IBOK ODURO. And I would like to take the opportunity to say, let's appreciate our chair for attempting to summarize. All right. The chair ended on we grow what we eat and eat what we grow. So I thought of domestication for the young people who may not have heard of domestication, with undue apologies and acknowledgement duly. A few announcements. There is an upcoming inaugural lecture to be delivered by Professor Samuel Deborah. So we take this opportunity to invite all of us to the lecture, which is scheduled for Thursday, 18th June, time 5:30 p.m. in this very auditorium, and it's on the topic Postgraduate Medical Education and Training in Ghana, Now and the Future. We take the opportunity to invite all of us. It promises to be educative and informative and interesting. We acknowledge a number of sponsors who have graciously supported this program. Permit me to mention a few of them. The Tree Crops Development Authority, Wardem's Chops and Local Bar, Sweet Life Group Ghana, Yo Fresh Yogurt, Food Advancement Ghana, Premium Food Limited, Women in Science, Technology, and Engineering, YSTEM, and Legendary Foods Limited. Let's appreciate them. And we would also like to acknowledge individuals. Our speaker, Professor IBOK ODURO, graciously acknowledge the following individuals: Professor Awunyo Victor Datson, Dr. Erasmus Nate Tete, Professor Dr. Christian Ajari, Dr. Nana Kwame Eyisi Boating, Professor Jacob Agbenohevi, Mr. Freeman Goba, Madame Sylvia Sunny Thomas, Mr. Bright Adi, and Mr. David Sechi. Let's welcome them. Well, as always, we have a great number of dignitaries amongst us, and it is difficult to acknowledge all of us here, and always at the risk of leaving out some name. But permit me kindly to mention that we have a number of distinguished fellows of the Academy who are here and officials. So we have our past president, Professor Emeritus Samuel Sefadede, right here also, yes. And then we have Professor Emerita Abba Bentel Adam, also a former president of the Academy. And we have our vice president of the Academy, Professor Otinyebwa Apel. Right. And we also have distinguished senior fellows, including former vice chancellor of the University of Ghana, Professor Emeritus Clifford Niboy Tego, right? And I'm informed there is also a Vice Chancellor, former Vice Chancellor, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Professor Ellis Otu. Otu Ellis, yes. Right. Okay. We have already acknowledged fellows who have joined us online, and as always, it is our delight to acknowledge the schools who persistently attend Academy's various programs, including inaugural lectures. So today we have Accra Academy. Our staple attendee school, I would say. Also, we have Odogono Senior High School and Health Concern Ghana. You're all welcome. Madam Speaker would also like to acknowledge the support of Madam Ekuya Adodonil, Mr. Kwame Day, Mr. Edward Yeboah, Professor Jacob Hamidu, Mr. Ofori Apa William, and Dr. Joris Gerald Neilante Emisa. I show them appreciation. Right, so most important, we acknowledge all of you for making the time this evening to be present here. We are grateful for your time and your attention. There's time for a few presentations, and then we will round up the program. So, Prof, if you wouldn't mind, there will be presentations by the Department of Food Science and Technology, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and then from Women in Science, Technology, and Engineering, YSTEM, and not the least, the family of Professor IBOK ODURO. So you are welcome to make the presentation. Right. They would like to ask the staff and students of the department to join for the presentation. So you are welcome. Thank you. Department of Food Science and Technology, Kwame Nkrumah, University of Science and Technology. Most appreciated. Thank you very much. Right. So we will now take the presentation from the Women in Science, Technology, and Engineering. Right. Women in Science, Technology, and Engineering, and an honorary member right at the edge. So I will submit my application also for consideration. Right. Thank you, Women in Science, Technology. Right. So we will take one from the family, Prof. ODURO and the family. Thank you sincerely. Thank you very much. There has been a special request to take a number of photographs. We'll do that quickly in 2 minutes, and then we would round up. Yeah. No, you'll be there. Yeah. So we can do that. Normally we do that outside.
Oh, yes, that is okay. Don't worry. I wanted, yes, so that they know. So now we do one.
Thank you very much. Thank you sincerely. And yes. All right. So we can't finish this program. We can't exit. Right. I'm informed that Impression would like to donate 20 copies of the book by Prof to the Academy. We are sincerely grateful. And President, I believe, will be kind to accept it on behalf of the institution. Thank you, Madam President. Right. Thank you, sincerely. Thank you sincerely. And thank you, Madam President Emerita, Professor. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have gradually arrived at the end of the program, and we cannot end this program by not acknowledging MedCural. This MedCural is a non-denominational Christian choral group founded and operating from Kolebu Teaching Hospital, right? All right. I think the lecture has been very, very inspirational, because I think, MedCural, you are in the spirit today, even by the order of the songs you have sung. We appreciate your presence each time you are here, every time. I think the program has been very interesting and very, very nice. So we thank you very much. We hope that you continue to be present at future events of the Academy. Thank you. We have come to the end of the program presently, and as usual, we would kindly request all of us respectfully to stand as the speaker exits the platform. Thank you, and I wish all of us a good night.
Hey, We will celebrate. We will celebrate. Oh, let us we will celebrate. We will celebrate. We will celebrate. Let us go now. Let us go. Let us sing. We will celebrate our Lord. We will celebrate. We will celebrate our God. We will celebrate our
Please, there is a local bar in the atrium. There is a local bar in the atrium in the building. There is a local bar. We encourage